Hey YouTube fam, welcome back to another food vlog. Hope you guys are good. In today's vlog, I'll be making breakfast, lunch and dinner and a little bit of baking. So hope you guys will enjoy the vlog. So for breakfast, I loaded potatoes, and for this recipe, everything is mentioned. Baby potatoes, 1 egg, bacon, baby tomatoes, cheese, parsley and baked beans. So for the baby potatoes, we're gonna dice them into smaller pieces. It doesn't matter whether you're using baby potatoes or your normal big size potatoes. It's just benyani. So once you've finished dicing up all your potatoes, you're just gonna pat them dry. A kitchen towel or a paper towel, it doesn't matter. This dish to spice up our potatoes. For our baby potatoes, we're gonna use oil, paprika, salt and onion powder. The onion powder part is optional, but we're not gonna spice, you know, give your potatoes that tata. Then we're just gonna mix everything up and then prepare whatever dish you're gonna use for your oven. But air fryer, so you can either do this recipe ka air fryer or ka oven. So if you're gonna use the air fryer, I used the chips option and then gave it 190 degrees for 40 minutes. While our potatoes are in the air fryer, we're going to be doing the other part of the breakfast. So here I used 1 egg, turmeric, salt and a little bit of milk. But they don't like milk in their eggs, so the milk part you don't have to do it if you don't prefer milk. And then you whisk everything up. The turmeric was just to add that yellow color, so Luana is optional, it's not a must. Then in your pan, you're just gonna add oil and your egg mixture. We are making scrambled eggs. For your scrambled eggs, there's no formula. However, where you prefer your eggs, it's okay. Because I'm comfortable with that. Then the very same pan of it's you're gonna add your oil and bacon. Then we're also gonna add our baby tomatoes with a little bit of sugar. If you watched the previous vlog, you will remember in the previous vlog we added brown sugar. So you're just gonna dice it up, fry for like maybe a minute or so, and then add your brown sugar. So once we finish to fry our eggs, bacon and baby tomatoes, we're gonna add our baked beans into a different bowl. And with the eggs, I'd suggest to refry your eggs once you see your potatoes are nearly ready. Otherwise, my how atlabata. Once your baby potatoes are ready, they should look like this, more on the golden brown side. Then we're gonna add our baked beans. After adding your baked beans, you're gonna add cheese. I used mozzarella and cheddar cheese, but you can use either or just cheddar cheese or whichever other cheese you enjoy. Then we're gonna add our scrambled eggs on top of the cheese, bacon and your baby tomatoes. Then this is the end result of the breakfast. Very easy and simple. You can add avocado if you want to, just for that aesthetic look. I do hope you guys will enjoy making this recipe. Welcome to the lunch part of the vlog. For lunch, we'll be making tortilla wraps, where your main ingredients are going to be your steak, mayonnaise and green salad. For the steak, you slice it into strips, and then everything here is self-explanatory. You're just gonna use garlic butter to fry a steak. If on a garlic butter, you can use oil or any other butter. The garlic butter just gives it that vibe of room. So I will let you guys enjoy this part. I've seen some comments where people ask where I buy the soy sauce, but I normally get the soy sauce from Dischem. You can also find it at Spar. I'm not sure about Pick and Pay Checkers. If on a garlic butter, you can just add normal butter and chopped up garlic into your pan. It's still the same thing. I just use this one because it's double up and it's more convenient. You can fry your steak for 10 minutes. I can't really estimate the time because it's a gas and I usually use it on high heat, but 10 minutes should be enough. While we wait for our steak, we're gonna prepare our wraps. So the wraps, and then we're just gonna add the green salad, the mayonnaise. For mayo, I'd suggest this one to be quite honest, because it tastes better than the normal one we grew up eating. So if you can buy the Woolworths one, I'd highly recommend. But if not, it's okay. Mayo ki mayo. After adding our green salad, we add our steak to the wraps, and then it doesn't matter how add steaks as long as you taste when you're eating. So also with the portion, you can add more when you cut instead of the half that I added. Then I added mozzarella cheese. You can add any other sauces that you want to add, like the sweet chili sauce and so forth. I do hope you guys did enjoy watching the lunch part of the vlog. Welcome to the baking section of our vlog. For this vlog, I really tried using relatable ingredients, but the main ingredient here is going to be orange A1. I got these measuring spoons from Pep for 25 rand. So because last time I could like sharp the head measurements. So this time I'm gonna measure accurately for you guys. As mentioned, orange is going to be our main ingredient. So for the orange, we will use a blender. And if you don't have a blender, I'd suggest you use orange juice and then mix your ingredients. So everything I do inside the blender, we're not going to use orange juice, but make sure you add sugar to your orange juice because orange in a So after adding our oranges, blending, we're gonna add sugar. So your oranges would really add with the peels inside, and then we're gonna add oil. The measurements are in the captions/subtitles. Then we're gonna use 2 eggs, which you add after your oil into the blender. Then you're gonna add vanilla essence, but the essence is optional, to be quite honest. We're going to experiment because the orange already has its own flavor, hence I'm like, it's not compulsory. Then you're just going to blend everything up. Once your mixture is done that side, in a separate bowl, you're gonna add your flour and baking powder. So guys, I'm using simple ingredients that you can relate to. Then you're just gonna add a teaspoon of your baking powder to the flour. Then you're gonna add your orange mixture to the flour and baking powder. With the mixture, every drop counts, so a teaspoon. So but if you're lazy, you can just leave and continue mixing your mixture. Then you're just gonna whisk everything up, but I did change the whisk later on because it wasn't I want a little more flour everything as it should. So just make sure everything blends in when you mix. Then I used spray and cook to base my pan. You don't have to use the pan that I used. Cupcake or creative. This mixture doesn't limit you in terms of the pan or sang. Then utlopapata penya how inside the bubble the same way that I'm doing in the video. Deco. This was the slice that I cut earlier on. Then you're just gonna preheat your oven. Give it 200 degrees for oven if tumale, but later on give it 180, and then we're just gonna bake the whole recipe for 45 minutes. So check a mixture how in the oven if it's doing the right things. As you can see hormone and say it change. My 45 minutes was up, so obviously the oven aditwani, so you will see according to color how your cake is looking or your cupcakes, and this is how it looked. We were waiting for 10 minutes for it fall before you take it out. Then I just turned it over from the tin, and here I was just checking if it ready kata to do a test. This is how the final product came out, very soft, and I like how the orange gave it that color labo. The next part which I will do step by step one day go YouTube shorts, but here I used the coffee mugs to make this shape of the cupcake. So we're just gonna put it aside for later on, and now we're going over to dinner, which is the main meal for the video. For dinner, these are all the ingredients we're gonna use on screen, but the main end is this stamp and beans from Woolworths, which is $29.99, less than 30 rand. So it's a beef stew, and these are all the things you need. If I can just use red pepper and green pepper, but the important thing is red pepper. It gives you stew that's more. I'm just gonna dice up the beef hore e be neatyana be di cubes tse bonahalang ho hong ke tlontsha mafura. So usually for my beef, I usually boil it first, but babang they prefer frying the beef. Nakizamo limita the usage of oil, so I'm just gonna boil for 15 minutes. I hope I'm using gas, so if you're using an electric stove, it might take longer, and if you prefer frying it instead of boiling, that's okay. I am gonna fry it later on. So if it's a boiler, then we go back to chopping our onions. So onions doesn't matter whether you dice it smaller or what, onion ke onioni. We're going to be chopping our red pepper, green pepper, and yellow pepper. And then for your peppers, what's important ke green and red pepper. Because the cost of living is expensive, o ka no vele o reke red pepper. I feel like red pepper makes a difference compared to green pepper. I also added garlic, and then this is how it's gonna look of it. So dicer, So now we're going to fry everything, and if you've watched my other vlogs, you will realize I usually fry my spices first. And I give it guys, I give 6 gun, go 6 gun. I personally feel like 6 gun for when frying and maybe putting food in the oven. But these are all the things that I use, which is your oil, raja, paprika, and the beef aromat flavor. And then then we're gonna fry our garlic first, followed by our onion, because onion inkanako hubutwa. So for the onion, probably fry like 3 minutes before I added my red, green, and yellow pepper. So then I added salt, askis for the head measurements. Then we added metsi hanyani because I want oil. Basically, the oil is swimming in the stew. So you're just gonna fry everything up. Metsi hanyani. Then in a different bowl, utlo add your beef hearty flavor noroxi. I just prefer cold water. And then I added Worcester sauce, a little bit of sugar. The sugar was because I didn't have chutney, so mayana ke plan. So you can use either sugar or chutney. And brown sugar, I hardly use white sugar when cooking. Then utlo add your stew and mix everything up. So the packet of soup usually helps in making your gravy a bit thick. So you're just gonna add your mixture, Then I use beef stock. I don't use the chicken flavor because I can't understand the Dijon. And then I usually grate it so or even spice. Babang usually add the cube to that mixture, the soup. And then they just use hot water. So I just usually add it like this so spice so that it melts properly. And then this beef stock is usually for the color. So I usually prefer beef stew really that dark color rather than light color. And then this is how it looks so far. So then you add your sweet corn. I struggled cutting down the sweet corn so into these sizes, so it will look manpower or like a serious knife. And then the with the stew for like 8 minutes because sweet corn and then leave it to boil up together. Then we're going to try out the stampin' beans from Woolworths. As mentioned, it doesn't even cost 30 rand. It was 28.99. So you just added scoop it in how as is. Once you added your stampin' beans to the pot, it has its own little water. So all I added was a little bit of gravy from the beef stew. I didn't add any salt. I felt like it was okay. Some people say it needs a little bit of salt, but that's the only thing I added, which was the gravy. And I'd say in 5 minutes it was ready. Now we come to the butternut section, and this is where my trauma started because I didn't think butternut would peel. As you can see, I was struggling. So for butternut, if you've never cooked butternut, I'd suggest literally manpower because most of the knives I was using weren't working. And the problem is I needed this butternut to be in a certain shape for what I wanted to do. But anyways, I actually decided to boil the butternut after peeling because initially we were going to put the butternut go ovening, and this recipe in for 2 minutes. So ke nahanela lona ba sebedisang electric stoves because the cost of living is expensive. So I'd say the butternut keep waiting for 15 minutes, and then utlo kenya in like a strainer so that the water is strained lower, and then utlo hlaba ka foroko just to see if it's okay. It should be more on the hard side and not the soft side. And then utlo ntsha the seeds from the butternut. Then butternut how a cut so don't cut through the whole butternut, but hanyani just for the aesthetic look. I added cinnamon and sugar and a little bit of oil. I can't frying for 40 minutes. Because I think a boiler beetroot which did take long. So if you have a pressure cooker, I'd advise for boiler a pressure cooker. Then write a green salad. I did make the green salad step by step in the previous vlog. The only difference here is kedile, red pepper, green pepper, and yellow pepper. I also made sure I add enough cheese because the last time in the comment next time I added cheese. I just hope that's enough. Then here I was just plating everything up. Can get off all tula, but then kahopola hore it's again standard procedure. Always plate up for you guys. And this is how everything looked after plating. We've reached the end of this food vlog. I hope you guys did enjoy watching. Please do comment down below which meal was your favorite. Honey,